She would clearly have an adequate ability to protect her family
without
the need for a 100-round piece.
How can you say
weaponry.
that? You are a large man, and you are not a tall man. You are not a young mother who has a young child with her. And I am passionate about this position because you cannot understand. You are not a woman stuck in her house having to defend her children.
One of the memorable moments during the Senate gun control hearing, a confrontation between Gail Trotter of the Independent Women's Forum and Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse. She got a lot of media reaction, Jim, for what she had to say there. Joe Scarborough on MSNBC said she looked like a jackass.
Well, that would be liberal media attacking her, that's for sure. Look, a star is born there. Gail Trotter of the Independent Women's Forum. She held her own. She got clobbered by a lot, including Jon Stewart. But if the National Rifle Association should take note, she's a better spokesman for them than Wayne LaPierre and all the rest of these types and so on. And she made it personal. She had an anecdote.
Even Judy, who is no gun fancier, is nodding in agreement.
Now, that's true. I mean, I think Wayne LaPierre has done his cause a lot of harm in between switching positions, attacking background checks, which he used to support. I mean, and just not seeming to care about the victims in this. And I agree with you. She was much more effective.
What about former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords? What about her appearance? Dramatic TV.
I think it was tremendous TV. If you talk about someone who has a story and a backstory that the American people know without being asked, and then the halting manner of speech, it was compelling TV. I think it was unfortunate that then Mr. LaPierre had to come on afterwards and try to counteract it, because it's not only that he was abrasive in his prior press conference, it's that he still acts as if, really, you know, you guys are the ones who are in violation. You guys have no understanding what's at play here, almost without regard for what happened in Newtown, which I must say, since we're on Newswatch, has now become a subject of great fascination that it never happened, that there are conspiracy theories all over the web. Never happened. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Well, speaking about Newtown, there was another case of selective editing at MSNBC this week. Neil Heslin, the father of a Newtown massacre victim, was testifying, and here's how MSNBC played his testimony.
Why anybody in this room needs to have one of these assault-style weapons or military weapons or high-capacity clips. And now one person can answer that question. Forgive me.
Section shall not be infringed.
All right.
All right. Please, no comments while Mr. Heslin is speaking.
But here is what MSNBC left out of that actual encounter.
I wish I asked if there's anybody in this room that can give me one reason or challenge this question. Why anybody in this room needs to have one of these assault-style weapons or military weapons or high-capacity clips. And now one person can answer that question. Forgive me.
Section shall not be infringed.
All right.
Please, no comments while Mr. Heslin is speaking, or we'll clear the room. Mr. Heslin, please continue.
So the point being, he asked the room for an answer, and that part of it, his request, was left out of the discussion. Selective editing, Judy?
Well, all I can say is there they go again. I mean, it seems to be a pattern. Unfortunately, at that network, there is a problem there, and especially because this was portrayed as the heckling of the father of a child who had been killed at Newtown. So, yeah, it was bad editing.
I don't think anybody in that room would have traded places with that guy, but they were fairly respectful when he put forward his question. They didn't say anything, but then when he said no one can answer it, then they said Second Amendment.
I actually thought it was a great moment because there was respect on both sides during that. And
And he seemed fairly unfazed by it all, too.
Absolutely.
I
I think he was almost, at the end of it, kind of saying, okay, we can agree to disagree if you watch the entire video.
Yeah, he literally says that.
Yeah, MSNBC, though, Martin Bashir says, a father's grief interrupted by the cries of a heckler. Now, they haven't apologized for this. This comes on the heels of Andrea Mitchell doctoring the Romney video about the Wawa sandwich at the convenience store. And you had CNN and Politico immediately following Andrea Mitchell's rants and others. They just retweet and repeat without checking the facts.
Don't forget
It's
NBC
outrageous.
and the Trayvon Martin
And
tape.
Trayvon Martin, the most illustrious
Well, I think the
example
Trayvon
of
Martin
that.
case is so beyond the pale. That's clearly, to me, a violation. In this case, I thought the speaker was using a rhetorical device. Can anybody answer this question? I would not have characterized it, however, as heckling, and that's the problem.
Yeah. More News Watch ahead. If you see something that you feel shows evidence of media bias, tweet us. Fox News Watch on Twitter. Up next.